Good morning. This is Vince with 2 Weeks in a Hammock, and this is a just brief description of some of my gear that I use. I'm with my wife Stacy on North Manitou Island, and this is what is this, June of 2021, um, day 13 of 2 weeks. So it's been a very nice, relaxing half of a month on the island here. Uh, so I have a tarp and Bugnet room that I've made a couple years ago, and this is a sill nylon tarp to keep the rain out, and I've sewn around the perimeter tulle, black tulle. It's like commonly used under wedding dresses. It makes a nice mosquito netting. It's not very durable, but it is very cheap. I think it's about 50 cents a yard if you buy it in bulk. And the tarp, I believe, measures about 14 feet by 9 feet and keeps us dry in a lot of weather. This is not ultralight by any means, but keeps us very comfortable. And inside of the tarp, I have a homemade tablecloth hammock. And this hammock is quite simply a 13-foot by 7-foot tablecloth. And I did sew a zipper onto the long edges so that it can be zipped up all the way around us if needed for extra warmth or protection from the bugs. But with the bug netting hanging from the tarp, it's really not necessary for bugs. And then the ends are just simply gathered, and it pretty comfortably seats two. We can sit in it sideways during the day and eat meals or drink coffee or read books, whatever you want. And then underneath the hammock, I have an underquilt from Underground Quilts. And this is actually a 0-degree, extra long, overstuffed, abominable snow beast underquilt, so that my wife stays nice and warm in the middle of the summer. And then I've also made a little gear loft to hold some of our things like glasses and cell phones and toothbrush and whatever you want. This is a ridge line for the hammock, and then I also have one for the tarp itself. Not really a ridge line, but just part of the tarp structure. And I have many other hammocks, but this is a very cheap, simple one that is very strong, holds two people quite well, and was pretty quick to put together. This is not at all what I would take on a solo backpacking trip in the mountains or anything like that, but for island camping for a couple, works very nice. And when I'm ready to pack it up, I have a sleeve that gathers the hammock and underquilt and gear loft all together, just to make it more convenient to pack everything up, because otherwise it can be a little cumbersome to pack this much down into a stuff sack. So this kind of takes care of half of the work. So I just pull that over the whole thing, and then it creates one big tube that goes into a stuff sack. And pretty common practice when you're pitching your tarp, you can lift the corners up by using your tent or your hiking poles, and or you can just use some sticks or branches that you find on the ground, just something to secure the corners up, and then you stake it down from there to keep everything nice and taut so it doesn't sag too much. Gives you some room to walk in underneath and comfort. And the bug netting that I've stitched around the perimeter actually comes all the way underneath and creates a floor to really help keep out all the bugs. And then we weigh down the corners with some rocks from the beach, just so if there is a breeze, it's not being blown in on us all the time. And that is our setup.